What's up, guys? It's your boy Zowoki back out with another Chris Watts video of part 2 from yesterday. So I'm not going to go into it too much. I just wanted to say, make sure you guys are subscribed, comment, like, and share. Don't forget to hit that bell icon next to it. So when I do post videos like this one, you guys will get that little ring notification that I posted that video. And then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, I thank you so much for that love and support. And then show your support over at Secret in the Dark as well, because we are watching their video. But with continuation from yesterday, let's continue.
No.
Rocking back and forth, and if you look, he never loads his stuff in and out of the garage ever.
Right.
He doesn't look worried. He looks like he's trying to cover his tracks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if he's loading his stuff, why isn't he walking back and forth? But I can't see what he's doing in the back of the truck because he pulled into the garage. Yeah. And he knows my camera's there. No, I'm just saying it's kind of odd that he pulls his truck back behind my camera. And he never backs his truck into the driveway. You can ask them, he's normally quiet, real subdued. He's over here telling you 3 times what he took out, what he did.
Nate knew.
He's he never talks. So the fact that he's over here blabbing his mouth makes me kind of suspicious.
I got home yesterday. It was like a ghost town. Like, she wasn't here. Kids weren't here. I have no idea, like, where they went. If she wasn't here, like, where did she go? Like, once I got here, it was like, all right, who can I call? If she's vanished, like, I want her back so bad. I want those kids back so bad. Last night, I wanted that knock on the door. I wanted to see this kid just run in, just barrel rush me and just give me a hug and knock me on the ground. I'm hoping that somebody sees something or somebody knows something and comes forward.
Yeah, you dimwad. How do you say it? Dimwad?
Right now, you got K9 units, the sheriff's department. Everybody's like they're doing their best right now to figure out like if they can get a scent. I called her 3 times, texted her about 3 times just to say, you know.
This guy is so full of caca.
What do you think happened?
At first, I really thought maybe she was just at somebody's house, just decompressing.
Just blowing off steam.
Yeah, but after today, like with the onslaught of all the cars, all the police cars, all the news, all the K9 units, it's making me lean the other direction about someone took her.
Okay.
But
it's funny that he says that. Like, where did that come from? Was he thinking about it? Did somebody else influence him to say that? Like, Tammy stating that, oh, did Shanann hurt the girls kind of thing? Or did he come up with this himself? First he goes, oh, she went to somebody's house. And then he's saying, oh, now she's abducted. Like,
it's just, if someone took her, it would have to have been someone she knew. Because there's no sign of anything like being disturbed, broken. Mm-hmm. But like that's the way I'm leaning now. At first I thought for real she was just decompressing somewhere. I thought she was safe, even though everything in the house was left there. But now it's just after the day with the news crews and everything, it feels more the other direction, and it's freaking me out.
So when I work investigations like this, I have to keep an open mind on everything. And part of keeping an open mind is listening to you talk about your wife and your marriage. And the day she goes missing is the day that you guys have marital discord. Okay.
Oh, and it was that moment the case went south for Chris.
So you can understand what I'm thinking about you.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
It makes me sick to my stomach, honestly. Like, I know, like, I've talked to a few of my friends, it's like, you know, this does not look good on you. I'm like, I know. It's like, if people knew that we were having marital issues, they're gonna look at me, especially with the way everything looks. And it honestly just makes me sick to my stomach because this is something that I would never do. Ever.
I know, like, you have to look at every vantage point. This is something I would never do to my kids or my wife at all.
1 p.m. I'm now on my way home to check on my family. Is that just because you're worried based on the conversation with Nicole? Had the police contact you by then?
No.
Okay. 2, I arrive. Sorry, go ahead.
But Nicole said she was probably going to call the cops.
Okay. All right. Now, so it sounds like Nicole's pretty worried. More worried than you.
Oh, so once she couldn't get anything out of her and nothing was going on at the house, I was like, all right, I got to go home.
But it sounds like Nicole was more worried.
It's almost like this officer, right, or this investigator is kind of like beating around the bush to see how much he can pull from Chris, and Chris is not giving him anything because Chris is trying to play dumb.
Yeah, because like most of if she doesn't text me, like I understand that.
Okay.
Like sometimes that happens.
Okay.
But for her not to get back to her direct sales group, that was very unorthodox.
Okay. So I need to ask you about your marriage and infidelity.
Oh.
Okay, tell me about it.
So it was at this moment, we don't know about NK until tomorrow, which is the 14th. I'm wondering if they knew something beforehand is why they're asking, unless it's just more or less, how did they say it? Where they knew it was another woman, kind of like stereotyped that men, obviously in a divorce, will cheat on the spouse, what have you.
Okay. And I fully
I have never cheated on my wife. Yeah, okay.
suspect she has never done that to me.
Oh, okay.
Like, she's always been a trustworthy person. I've always been a trustworthy person. I fully expect if we ever thought about straying another way, that we would tell each other before it happened.
Oh, like you didn't do?
I think that sounds ridiculous. I want you to go home, and I want you to know that I'm the guy you can talk to.
See, I'm surprised they let him go home. Like, you can't tell me that they would have not put a hold on him or something, because this guy's asking questions like he knows about some type of infidelity.
Okay? Who's not going to judge you? I have kids. Sometimes I joke with my wife, I just need 2 weeks alone. You know? Like when you told me about your 4 to 5 weeks alone, I was like, wow, that sounds like a slice of heaven, right? Sometimes it's a bit much. Okay? I want to talk to you again tomorrow. Okay? I want you to get a good night's sleep and a good breakfast and a good workout, whatever you got to do, whatever your morning routine is.
So that whole thing that he was talking about, or what was it? Chris was talking with that alleged attorney or lawyer, whatever it was. And that guy mentioned that, oh, he wasn't at his A game. He wasn't at his top game to do a polygraph. This guy is literally telling him to go home, get sleep, feel better, get a nice breakfast and so forth. And because pretty much he was like, that's going to be the last night of your freedom kind of thing.
And events relating to Chris Watts.
I think I met him sometime in June, probably early June. It might have been May. It was just talking at work. It was pretty casual. And he didn't have a wedding ring on his finger. And every time I talked to him, he didn't tell me that he was in a relationship. He didn't even mention his way either. And then one day he told me that he had 2 kids. I was like, that's pretty cool. And started telling me about his kids.
That sounded like a sarcastic comment.
No, I thought it was kind of cute. I was like, oh, he's a dad. It was like right around Father's Day too. So whenever that is in June.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm not good with holidays.
he told me he had kids, and then it was Father's Day shortly after that. So that's what I do now. And I was like, I thought it was cute. And then he's telling me about him. He's pretty excited about him. And then he mentioned that he did have a significant other. And then he told me that those 2 were in the process of a separation.
Did he mention the children's name or his significant other's name?
I didn't know his significant other's name for a while. And then
You Googled her name a year before. You knew exactly her name.
think he told me his kids' names pretty quick, but to be honest with you, on an exact date of when that happened, I don't know. I go put my lunch in the fridge. So I'd seen him, but I didn't ever, like, talk to him. So that day...
There are employees that say otherwise.
We just started talking, and then every time I saw him in the hallway after that, and it was always hit or miss, like it wasn't an everyday thing, it was just when I saw him, we just started talking, and we just kind of had a lot in common and just hit it off, so we'd always have, you know, pretty good conversations, and then, I don't know, one day he told me that he had kids and started talking about his kids, and then mentioned, yes, that I have a wife, but we're...
I have a wife, but we're separated. Where was the evidence of that? There was no evidence of that at all.
Getting separated. Okay. And
When do you think that was?
when he said all that,
So specifically when he told you he was getting separated from his wife, was that within the first couple of weeks that you knew him, or was that later on? You said you met him around May or June.
yeah, it was still in June.
Okay.
It would have been before Father's Day.
So had you guys ever gone out on any kind of
No.
date at that time? You just
No,
were
no.
conversing at work?
Yeah, that's all it was. And then, I don't know, we started hanging out. We hung out. We went to a park. Hung out at a park.
Let's go back real quick. So why did he tell you that he was getting a divorce? Did he ask you out at that time?
No, he didn't. I think he was probably interested in me. And so he talked to me a couple times via his work phone, and I was like, no. Like, it was still very, like, friendly conversation. But then when I realized, like, this man is interested in me, I'm interested in him, this is personal, so we got away from the Anadarko thing because I really don't want those guys affiliated with any of this. And
So you have a work phone that specifically...
no, I have one phone that I do both on. He has two phones.
Okay, so he had your phone, the 720-656.
That's the only number that I roll with all the time.
Okay.
So he has two phones.
All right. One of those owned by Anadarko and
Yes,
one
sir.
personal.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what his Anadarko phone number was?
It's been so long, and I mean, I'm sure I could, like, look it up, but I tried to look it up for
It's been so long. It's been a day.
those guys yesterday, and I couldn't find it.
Okay. We can find it. That's
2 or
okay.
3
Just
days.
wanted to
There
know.
were several discussions that we had about his current relationship and where it had gone and what it had caused. And he talked about his kids from time to time, but the thing is he was never hostile. It was never anything aggressive. Like, even when he spoke of his wife and the fact that they were separating, it was never, like, ill. It was still very kind. It was just like, this is not working, you know, and would explain why, but it wasn't anything out of the ordinary or anything that I think would scare me. And to this day, even after everything that I found out, I still look back at that and I don't see any red lights with the way
Why would you see any red flags or red lights when you're the possible partner in crime?
that he spoke of his family. Okay. I don't want to say he's a very reserved individual. I think he's probably more reserved around other people. I think he emphasized to me that one of the reasons that he really enjoyed talking to me is because he felt like he could get out of his shell. He said around most people he just, like, didn't really feel the need to like talk and converse, and it wasn't just in his home life, just in general. It wasn't something where he's an introvert. And he said with me, it made him feel like he could really just start talking about things that excited him. And I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that we had things in common. So with me, I think he was a little bit more outgoing, but even then, I would still consider him to be an introvert. No.
So you never saw him upset or mad?
No. And there was a couple times that we had some disagreements on things that, as we, like, further progressed into the story, you know, but it was never, like, I am very calm when I talk to people. It's, like, extremely rational when I handle situations that there's a disagreement in, and he always was the exact same way. Like, always. Like, I never stressed anything. I think one thing that actually kind of
What about that time that you were freaking out because of all the pictures and so forth?
drew me to him was the fact that he was, like, very open with communicating with me if there were any, like, differences on how we saw things or just, like, open-minded about things. It was actually, I personally thought it was kind of unique because usually most of the men that I've ever met are typically very closed off, and I didn't get that from him at all. But I've been to that house twice, but it was very, very brief, and it was not like an extended stay. I did not feel comfortable there, or, like, I just didn't want to be there. It's not my life. Like, that is somebody else's life and somebody else's existence, and I respect that. That's their space. And so I used to tell him, well, come to my house because this is our space. This is my space. And so for me, out of respect just for, like, whatever situation he had going on and the fact that it's not my home, I felt that it was better to be in my place. And I live alone. I don't have any roommates or anything, so it's pretty easy to do that.
So you went to his house on 2 occasions?
Yes.
Was that recent?
No, that was, like, pretty early into it, and I did not like it and did not want to go back.
Do you recall one of the streets?
I mean, I'm sure I could figure it out again if I, like, really had.
Oh, like when you Googled it?
Like off the top of my head, no.
Do you know the street name?
No. I would have to like drive around in there to get there.
Okay.
At that moment that they were interviewing him at the same time the drone footage was being taken. Just look at these pictures and you get so mad and upset.
Two ways you can fail a polygraph, okay? The first way would be if you fail to follow my instructions. I'm going to give you a lot of instructions today about how to sit still, how to answer questions, things like that. So if you fail to follow those instructions, you will not pass today's test, okay? The second way would be if you choose to lie to me today. Obviously, this is about 100% truth. Even if there's, something that you didn't tell the investigators, since Monday, I guess, is when you and the police were involved.
And so it's 11 o'clock in the morning. So he wasn't there all day.
If there's something that you didn't tell them since Monday, like, that is totally fine. Like, I get it. People aren't going to remember every single detail every time they talk to someone. As long as you tell me what the truth is today, you will have no problem with passing, okay? I promise you that. And obviously, I hope that, if you did have something to do with their disappearance, it would be really stupid for you to come in and take a polygraph today. Exactly. Right? Like, it would be really dumb. Like, you should not be here right now sitting in this chair if you had anything to do with Shanann and that little girl's disappearance. Okay? Okay.
So, you obviously are a really bad liar. Have people told you that before? Like, the second you tell a lie, like, they can tell, like, on your face that... Because the second you lie to the number 3, like, I don't know if you heard me cooking, but I turned down the sensitivity because you're starting to go off the page. So that is what I need to see as a polygrapher, because that tells me that you know it's wrong to tell a lie.
He's probably like, wait, I heard you outside the door say that I did just fine. I did perfect. Like, what's going on kind of thing.
You're actually having a significant reaction when you lie, so that is awesome. So thank you for being a former liar. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. We don't want to be good liars, so thank you for being a former liar.
I love that he's smiling.
About to begin. Please remain still. Do you know where Shanann is now?
No.
It was completely clear that you were not honest.
Did somebody help you? That's all you had to ask.
Testing, I think you already know that. He did not pass the polygraph test.
Okay.
Okay. So now we need to talk about what actually happened. And I feel like you're probably ready to do that.
I didn't lie to you on that polygraph, I promise. Chris, I know. Stop. It's time. Just stop for a minute. Take a deep breath. I want you to take a deep breath right now.
We're not here to play games. We're not here to do any of that with you. We just want to know what happened. So can you start from the beginning and tell us what happened?
Everything that I have told you, I did not lie on this polygraph. I don't know how much I can tell you right now. Like, I did not.
It's not even an option right now because you did not pass the polygraph. So I know you were being deceptive. So that's not even an issue right now. The issue right now is what happened to Shanann, Bella, and Celeste. That's the issue right now.
Okay.
This is where the rubber meets the road, Chris. Like, don't let this continue any longer, please.
I'm not trying to make anything continue. Like, I want them back home, like...
But you know they're not coming back home. I just find it hard to hear you talk about having this emotional, conversation with Shanann, and you're bawling and crying together, and you have not shed one tear in 2 days that you've been here.
No.
Not one. And help me understand that, because I don't get it. These are your baby girls, and you have not shed one tear over them not being around. Chris, I lose my 4-year-old in the store for 10 seconds, and I start to go panic. Panic. I have not seen any of that from you at all. Help me understand that.
I love those girls. I would never do any of this because I haven't shed a tear. You get
Yeah,
it?
no, that's weird. Is that weird?
You can start to hear him talk like he's trying to. I gotta fake it. Like you're not. Nope.
Don't look into that. Like I don't love my kids. I love my wife.
Explain to me. You're crying with your wife that you're leaving her,
Yeah.
but you don't cry that your 2 little baby girls.
I'm hoping they're still around. I'm hoping they're still somewhere.
But you weren't here today lying about something else. So we need to talk about that, okay?
I cheated on her.
I know. And this is very good.
I'm not proud of it.
See, he didn't come clean about his infidelity. They already knew about it.
I didn't think anything like that could happen. I don't think I'd ever do it, but I did.
I know. Keep going.
She accused me of it. I denied it. I cheated on her and I feel horrible for it. Like, she was pregnant and it was... I don't want
to what?
I cheated on her. I hurt her emotionally. I cheated on her.
You're doing a good job. This is the Chris that I'm here to tell her.
Okay. Chris, did Shanann do something to them?
No, I don't know.
I'm curious.
I have no clue.
No, you wouldn't know because they didn't leave the house. Did Shanann do something to them, and then did you feel like you had to do something to Shanann?
I always hated it when she said
They were at the house when I left. They were there.
They weren't there. They didn't leave. They vanished. I mean, I want to believe that maybe Shanann did it, and you felt compelled to fix this so Shanann didn't look bad. That's what I want to believe. But I don't know. You're not telling me that, so it makes me think the worst. Like, did you
I did not do anything.
all 3 of them?
I
Like,
did not do anything with these kids. Not do anything.
what did Shanann do to them? Tell us, Chris.
Yes. If we brought your dad in here, would you please tell him what happened? Hey, Chris, we're going to let you have however much time you need, okay?
Sure. You can leave us in there or no?
Yes.
There comes the father.
Tell what's going on with anything, or... And it's, Polygraph. That's it.
Is there any reason why I shouldn't?
They know I had an affair. They know. I can't complain about that.
Anything else you want to tell me? What's going on? Or what happened or anything? You don't think much?
I want to protect her.
What?
I want to protect her.
You don't want to protect her? She hurt him?
Yeah. And,
What now?
I'm not hurt.
You hurt her? So she killed Alexis Stevens. Took him to death. You lost it and took her?
See, I don't like how he plays it back to him. Like, why are you saying it like you're narrating it? Do you hear that, or is it just me?
It's crazy. I'm trying to make all the bodies off or something. I mean, I didn't know what else to do. I didn't freak out. I didn't know nothing else to do. Last time I see what I did again. Last time I see what I did again. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. Like, none of this made sense. Why would she hurt my f***ing girls?
She didn't.
So Chris, were they in something? Are they under the ground? Like, where would you find them?
Please don't think anything less than touch my head.
Are they all 3 out there, Chris?
Yes.
Are they down in something? Are they under something? In something?
I didn't know what else to do.
I know, but how many kids? I know.
I didn't know what else to do. I was so scared.
I know.
Yeah, think about
I
them.
just did this, I just did that. What do I do?
Right.
Or anything that I would do from there was just going to be just
He's so scared. What about his little girls?
insensitive and just a horrible thing.
You were in a tough spot. What can you do, right? Would you prefer them with your coworkers?
Oh my God, no. Okay. I cannot.
Now he shows emotion
You said
when he's caught.
Become a good man. They're gonna say that too. Like, what the fuck did you do in prison? Like just call the cops to begin with.
Well, they weren't in your shoes. They don't know.
I know.
They weren't living your life.
I know, but still, it's like
People are
I
gonna
can never
like.
We'll just go a little steps at a time. How about that? I can't have anybody show you out there that anybody, no coworkers, please. Okay. I mean, they're just going to form their own opinions anyways once they figure everything out anyway. We'll just take little steps tonight then. How about that? So can we actually tell him? I wanted to show him that picture.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk a little bit about how the rest of the night's going to go.
What's the name again? What is that?
It's the PRC survey 319.
Okay. Whereabouts? Just Shanann and the girls.
How old is this picture?
Today.
How's today?
Okay, can you work it for me? Thanks. I think it's the converted from the,
It's so easy to
okay,
show
so where
that.
the girls at?
Here.
And these? So which one is, do you know which one?
Are they in the tanks? Can somebody who doesn't know what they're doing open those? Okay, it's easy to open
What's
them.
in the tanks?
It's a mixture of oil and water. Is it possible that when we get these girls, balance?
Say there should have been caution tape from fence post to fence post at the house and at survey 319. They shouldn't have gone in there at all. They should have looked at the tire tracks and the footprints and it just infuriates me. And again, I'm not a professional, I'm not educated in this, but it's not like it's rocket science. And the hole that he shoved them in.
Lift up your hands. Okay, come this as well. How you doing, face me? You don't have anything on you, right? Okay, nothing in your pockets? Okay, go ahead and face that other wall behind you. I'm just going to search you real quick. Search your legs. Further.
Oh, he's never seen those
Okay.
again.
Yeah. I'll tie this right there. Yeah. You've been watching this. Is that all I need? Or is there another one on you? Just change it. No, that's it. Oh, it's been a while. Didn't used to look like that. Have you been gone for a while?
That's crazy that they're like talking and chatting and having fun while Chris is just like, my life is over. What did I do? I can't believe I did this. Like, and these guys are just having a good old time because they're at work, they're doing their work, and they get to go home and be with their families and so forth. Not Chris.
Why sandwich? No. Okay.
So it pretty much looks like there's evidence and all that stuff left here, but we're going to watch the end of the court here.
The court is going to sentence Mr. Watts as follows. With regard to count number 1, murder in the first degree as it relates to Shanann Watts, the court is going to sentence you, sir, to a life sentence in the Colorado Department of Corrections, followed with no possibility of parole. And that is going to run consecutively to all but counts 3 and 4. With regard to count 2, as it relates to murder in the first degree with Bella, the court is going to sentence you to life in the Colorado Department of Corrections with no possibility of parole. With regard to count number 3, the court is going to sentence you as it relates to Celeste to life in the Colorado Department of Corrections with no possibility of parole. With regard to counts 4 and 5 relating to Bella and Celeste as a different...
Like, he kind of looks mad. Like, he's he's mad that, well, 1, it probably wasn't him, but 2, he's just mad that he got caught.
Different theory of first-degree murder. The court is going to sentence you to life in the Colorado Department of Corrections, and legally those sentences must run concurrently as a different theory of first-degree murder. Recognizing the unlawful termination of pregnancy for the unborn child that has been named Nico, the court absolutely believes that the maximum sentence of 48 years would be appropriate to run consecutive to the other charges, with an additional mandatory parole period of 3 years as set forth by statute. With regard to count number 7, as it relates to tampering with a deceased body, as well as counts 8 and 9, each a class 3 felony, the court is going to impose a maximum sentence of 12 years each for those counts to run consecutively to the other counts. The court is going to order that statutory
The man's going to be serving life sentences in his grave, man.
fees be paid and court costs. The court's going to grant the prosecution 91 days to file a notice of restitution, and that will be the sentence of the court. We will shortly be in recess. I would respectfully ask the parties that you remain in your seat. There is a plan by the deputies on allowing people to exit the courtroom, so please remain seated until you are authorized to leave the courtroom based on the direction of the deputies. Deputies, I would respectfully ask that you take this defendant into custody and have him serve the rest of his life in the Department of Corrections.
Man, that's gotta suck. So, definitely listening to obviously NK over and over is just like, we don't want to hear it much anymore, but it just upsets you so many times that how she's nonchalant, doesn't care about what happened. Like, she if she didn't do it physically to help with disposing of them and so forth, she still destroyed a family. you always got to think in the back of your head that, oh, what my decision about drinking this is going to cause this and it's going to cause that. And you got to, I mean, that's putting a whole different spin on it. But it's just the fact that you never know what you're going to do that's going to cause an action that could lead to somebody being deceased. Or, I mean, she could have stopped it. She could have said, yep, I'm going to wait till you're separated. Then we'll go ahead and be together. But until that time, I think we should be separate until then, or just talk. Or, I mean, it's just the fact that that 5 weeks that he had just gave him the whole opportunity to indulge himself with NK. And then when Shanann came back, he didn't want to go back to his apparently boring life when this man had a lot of what of us guys would love to have: a family, a house, a job, a dog. I mean, the sky's the limit in what he had. Yeah, okay, you might have had some financial problems, but that doesn't matter. You don't murder your spouse or your children and hit the restart button. It's like, that's not what that's for. Again, I thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys go over to Secret in the Dark, give them some love, subscribe, comment, like, and share. If you have anything to say about what we've seen or anything you would like to talk about when it comes to the Watts case, surely put that down in the below. But be positive, be kind, no Shanann hating. I swear to cow, I'm going to remove all of those bad, hatefulness towards Shanann. I don't get it. I don't understand it. How you guys think that she was involved with the daughters and what she did growing up and what she did with her last husband. And it's like, that has nothing to do with this. Like, what are you on? Let's look at the people that are here, murdered them, and are enjoying life behind bars and in real life. Okay? Again, thank you guys for being here. Please take care, be safe, and as always, please keep nerding on, and we will see you guys in the next video.